Well, one thing is I think is trying to change people's attitudes. In the UK, and I think in a lot of other Western countries, there is a very negative attitude to asylum seekers and refugees. If you look at some newspapers, the headlines on a rolling basis, on a day-to-day basis, are often about asylum seekers, how asylum seekers are cheating the system, asylum seekers who actually had a good life back where they came from and are only coming to sponge off the state here, are coming here and they're committing all sorts of crimes and sponging off the welfare system and so on. So I think your average citizens who are concerned about the situation can do a lot to try and change the attitudes of people around them. Try to raise awareness of the suffering these people are suffering when they flee their countries. And also another thing they can do is to lobby their governments to be more accommodating and more welcoming to Mandayans, but also Iraqi refugees and other refugees in general, because whether it's Iraq, whether it's Sudan, whether it's Zimbabwe, people are fleeing these countries for a reason. Normally people do not want to leave their countries because it's their country and they feel an attachment to it. If they leave in a situation of conflict, it's usually because they've suffered sufferings that we can barely even imagine. I think people can contribute by pressuring their political representatives, their MPs, to adopt a more welcoming and open attitude to refugees and asylum seekers. Because I think politicians are driven by what they perceive to be public opinion, and they perceive public opinion to be very much against refugees and asylum seekers. So it's good to try and change that by writing to your MP, encouraging other people around you to write to your MP, and basically try to raise their awareness that actually not everybody thinks like that. There is a growing number of people who do not feel like that.
There has been some talk, with the diaspora of Mandayans spread all over the world, of reforming a new homeland outside of Iraq. As we previously stated, Iraq is unacceptable. How has Minority Rights Group International addressed the future homeland issue?
This is something that we want to address in our report because, again, this is something that came up again and again in our interviews with Sabian Mandayans. Because of this fear of losing their culture, they don't want to be dispersed to different countries.